Why Fabio Vieira will surprise Arsenal fans. We're going to be taking a look at Fabio Vieira, what he's done at Arsenal so far, diving into where I think he might fit in the second half of the season. Fabio Vieira was brought in by Mikel Arteta and Edu in the summer from Porto after a fantastic season assisting for fun. It's taken a little bit of time for him to get into the starting 11, but I think with Gabriel Jesus' injury, we could see him a lot closer to the starting 11. Recently, what we've seen with Vieira is him playing as a right winger from the right-hand side. He's very creative. He operates as an inverted winger, looking to create for his teammates, either cutting back and providing the crosses to the back post, or linking, moving into the inside channel with combination play with his teammates, and then looking for through balls to an advancing fullback or the striker, or switching of the play to the side. And I think Vieira will provide a little bit of an unknown for us on the second half of the season, and we could see him from this right wing position moving Saka actually to the left wing and playing more as a traditional winger. I think with the loss of Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal might slightly change in terms of how they look to play in the final third, in terms of they'll probably be more geared to creating for their number 10 and their number 9, versus kind of looking to maybe play to just a Gabriel Jesus and then link off him, or look to slide one of the wingers. And I think we might see a slight evolution in their goal scoring. Could even see someone like Granit Xhaka getting on the score sheet a lot more if Vieira has maybe played on this right-hand side. And I think creativity is the big thing that he'll bring to the team. It's that ability in the pass, that ability to open up really difficult low block defences, which I think will start to be a thing for Arsenal. I think as teams have, really started to respect them in the Premier League, currently sitting top of the league, that teams will sit deeper, which means Arsenal need to find slightly different ways of unlocking the door. And given that Fabio Vieira last season was one of the top assisters in the Portuguese league, in the League NOS, I feel like that could be a real angle for him. In 27 games, he was directly involved in 20 goals with 14 assists. And there were a lot of different combinations of through balls from, playing as a number 10 behind two strikers. There were crosses from out wide. There were lovely reverse passes. And I think he really brings that level that he can operate in the inside, left inside channel. And I think that might be the position to get the best out of him. You're thinking a lot of interplay and interchange between Odegaard and Vieira in terms of their position, frequently providing, overlaps for each other, underlaps for each other, and so forth. I think they're quite similar in terms of their player. Both you'd say are playmakers when they do get into the final third. Odegaard really good at, looking to cross from the inside right channel, looking to play those through balls on his left foot, but equally would be effective in the wide position. So I think that interchange is something that we might see a little bit more from Arsenal if Vieira is used as a right winger from the start. Of course, we've seen Reece Nelson provide really good outlet from the left wing. Eddie Nketiah as well could be used as that centre-forward position, putting Martinelli back to his kind of natural left wing position he's been playing this season. And kind of having a forward of Nketiah's quality. We know that Jesus likes to drop off the line, get involved in the play, involved in the build-up. He's a player that likes to receive to feet, get turned and dribble. Whereas Nketiah is the other way in a sense. He's an advanced forward. He will make that motion in behind. And having someone of Fabio Vieira's quality with the through pass in those positions, or with a deep line cross from an inside position, I think could be very beneficial for Arsenal. And maybe we might see it kind of move on with, Arsenal going to a, kind of a super offensive setup where they've both got, Odegaard starting from a more of a deeper box-to-box position, Vieira starting as the 10, Saka on one flank, Martinelli on the other, to get as much creativity into the side as possible. As I mentioned before, teams are going to sit further and further and deeper away from Arsenal in terms of they're going to allow Arsenal the ball. It's going to move to more of a kind of Man City game model, I think, for Arsenal going forward. I think teams are going to show them far less space in behind their defence. When you're looking at Vieira, the kind of what he brought Porto last season in terms of just raw creation numbers, 14 big chances created, 1.3 key passes per game, and we've seen glimpses of it for Arsenal already in the Europa League especially. We've seen some really good performances from him so far, a goal and an assist. He's creating 1.8 chances per game. He's averaging 2 shots as well, and he's playing in those kind of the wider areas at times, drifting though from number 10 and having a real freedom against Bodo Glimt, created 4 chances in the match, 7 crosses coming into the box. And I think that's what Arsenal need to do more of in the second half of the season, and getting another playmaker in the side into that front 5 positions, considering that now you're going to have one less player coming off the line, so you'll have pushing one more player to a advanced position. Partey anchoring the midfield, I think, could be a real good way for Arsenal to continue that creativity and continue it pushing forward. There's definitely been glimpses and moments where you can kind of see why Arsenal bought Fabio Vieira to the club, but I think now we'll start to see his playmaking, his link play, his ability on his left foot. I think one of the things that we've noticed as well, Vieira, the danger from range. Again, something to beat these deep low blocks, the ability to shoot from range. Go back to the Champions League final in 2011 where United was soaking up the pressure against Barcelona. Second half, Villa scored from outside the box. Messi scored from outside the box. And that's something that Arsenal are going to have to add to their repertoire. We've seen Liverpool do that in recent years. We've seen a number of brilliant goals from Salah, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Mane from range, because you need to be able to become a threat from everywhere. You need to create chaos in all elements of the final third. So walking the ball into the net, it might work in some games, but you need that threat from range. And we've seen Vieira already in the Premier League. The great example I'd probably pull out in a sense is his goal against Brentford. Fantastic shot from outside the box, absolutely rocketed in to the sort of top left. And I think that technical side from those areas, and we can see again the interchange with him being wide and being narrow from the average positions or heat map on SofaScore. Again, the interchange with Saka is very, very good. I think they've already got a really good relationship on the right side of the pitch. So potentially playing Odegaard as this box-to-box kind of playmaker, Roman playmaker, where he's going to get deep, he's going to get high, could be a really good opportunity for Arsenal to change their attacking structure, to change their attacking flow, and really open up teams. Again, Brentford are a team that sat super deep against Arsenal in the defensive sense, and you can see the high position of Vieira mixed with the low position of the number 9, Gabriel Jesus. From an average position perspective, feel like Arsenal can slightly change the makeup of their attack with having Eddie Nketiah playing through the middle. I do think the signings need to be made. I'd like to see Arsenal bring a Mudryk to the club and then play Martinelli as a number 9. I'd love to see that because I think he has the intensity and the ability through there, but that doesn't mean that Eddie Nketiah, who's played at times as an inside forward on the left, could play that position. Then you'd still have that, Martinelli dropping a little bit deeper, and Saka and Nketiah would provide that kind of width. But having a little bit more creativity in there, I think it's going to be massive. I think he's going to be humongous for Arsenal's second half of the season. You think Granit Xhaka's had a spell at the World Cup as well. He might be a bit tired coming back, so you want to mix his fitness in there. Odegaard, Vieira, Partey could be a really good way for Arsenal to progress. But I do believe that we'll see his numbers shoot up so far. So far this season, 3 goals, 3 assists for Vieira. I think that's only going to get better as we see the season come back in and him play in more advanced areas for Arsenal. But anyway, guys, what do you think about Fabio Vieira? Do you think he's going to be the surprise package for Arsenal in the second half of the season? Let me know in the comments below. I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you're new. We'll see you later.